really just very, very small exposures. What this does is kind of still gives you the 40% exposure to those two names, as well as adding in ConocoPhillips, Williams, and EOG. And so all of a sudden, you could have a very interesting way to trade what could sometimes be a sleepy sector that only moves off geopolitical news. So I think this is almost kind of that first foray out there into something that may not be as fun and exciting as, tech and semis, but still has a fair amount of vol and still can trade in a very interesting way. And so yeah, we'll evaluate other sectors, but we're excited to see how this first wave goes.
Yeah, I think the thing I would add, Ryan did a great job there of sharing is we clearly filed across all the gig sectors and then into the two industries with biotech and semis because we think there's markets move and what may be of interest today is not what was interest in the past, right? So look at the energy. Energy one time was a really sexy thing and everyone wanted energy exposure. Today it's a little bit different. Semis are the backbone of what is happening in the AI evolution and are basically moving the market with any given move, is evidence from this morning's news with AMD. And so, we want to ensure in time we're presenting the right products that are meeting traders where they are. And as part of that process, it's understanding, where is sentiment across names, and sentiment is very heavy across tech, semis, and Tesla and consumer discretionary. You can argue whether it should sit in consumer discretionary or not. That's a completely different debate. But I think that fast forward, biotech was something that was really sexy and interesting for retail traders. Today is not really so much in favor, but based upon what we're seeing in the data. But we think that that's a market that can move very, very quickly, depending on what maybe happens in M&A activity. Maybe obviously FDA approval is clearly you have a little bit of volatility sitting at the regulator there in terms of what may or may not go in either direction. And it's a space that's ripe for continued disruption. And so, it could be one of the places that benefits most meaningfully from developments that are happening in AI. They're actually tangible developments that help our society become a healthier society and benefit more broadly. And so, that's where I think that there is a lot of interest in even something like that, which is today out of favor. And, we fast forward in a short amount of time, may actually be something that's really interesting and is starting to move the markets again.
Great question there. Hey, Sam, great to see you up here. Would love to see any thoughts or questions you have.
Yeah, one thing that's actually been interesting as far as the market just continuing to plow higher is the VIX is still in the 16. Sorry, I got a phone call. The VIX is still in the 16 handle, and I wouldn't even say that this is kind of a common thing that we see as the market continues to push to all-time high. I mean, I would understand maybe like the VIX around a 14, 15, but seeing implied volatility for the 30-day on SP 500, just are people scared? Do you see more flows coming into more of the short leverage ETFs on your end, or is this just somewhat of a hedge against like a wider basket portfolio? What do you guys think about the VIX still around these levels?
Yeah, I mean, answering that first piece first, the short end of our lineup does better when the market is ripping like this. Naturally, that is when people get a touch more skittish. Naturally, that is when people want to get hedges in place. That is when you want to kind of almost fade the rally. So, the short answer to that first question, we have seen inflows into the short side of our lineup, and as a result of that, we've sometimes seen some outflows out of our bear funds, and that's to be expected. That's what these products are built for. You expect people to take profits when the 3x or 2x long funds go up, and you expect them to kind of hedge on the negative 1x, negative 2, negative 3x on the way down and see inflows when the market's going up. So we've seen a bit there. As far as where the broader world of volatility lives, I would say there's just a general sentiment of skittishness across the market. Anytime you're hitting all-time highs day over day over day, I mean, I could tell you myself sitting in my seat and seeing CNBC close every single day with market at all-time high. I always tremble a little bit. You always wait for the other shoe to drop, but I think that's just natural investor positioning.
Great points. Any other thoughts from you, Sam? All right, no worries. Okay, Jordan and Emp. I wanted to make sure I hit you guys as well. We're probably gonna do maybe 7 to 10 more minutes here. Uh, Emp, Jordan, if either of you want to jump in with any thoughts or questions, feel free to unmute and go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. Always love trading your guys' products. We've definitely been trading them for a while. around these earnings times when IV's crazy. So obviously, just continuing to see you guys release new products is amazing. I'm actually curious on your guys' take on the options that get created on your guys' ETFs. I know it can get a little wild. I don't particularly like to trade those, but I'm curious on if you guys have any thoughts on those options that get created on the actual ETFs themselves. Because I know some people, across the timeline like to trade them. I particularly think it's just like way too risky for me. But I was just curious on your guys' take there.
Yeah, I think from our point of view, obviously it's not a explicit focus of ours to ensure that there's options off of our strategies because it's kind of touching in an area that's outside the bands of where we're at. We're very focused on ensuring that we're building the right ETFs and delivering on that exposure. So don't necessarily have anything revolutionary there to say other than clearly something that can happen. That there are traders who participate in those markets, but we're more laser focused on ensuring that the exposures we're delivering within the ETF itself are hitting all the targets that we need to be concerned about.
Yeah, some interesting stuff. I didn't really have any other thoughts. Love the products, but yeah, I just always see people trying to trade those, and generally tell people, try and stay away. It's not where I am focused for the most part. Like you said, you guys are focused on giving that 2x leverage, right, on the underlying tickers, and I think everybody should just stay aware of that for sure. So just something I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, I think the big thing I would just say is just like everything here, educate yourself, right? So if you're looking to participate in, name you want to just buy beta, you need to understand what the beta is you're buying. If you start talking about leverage, obviously you want to understand what that leverage is and what compounding is and what decay is. And then as you go into options more broadly, it's all the Greeks and it's everything on top. It's magnified. So do your homework would be my message. Just, and I think that this is a great message for a trader and an investor.
I'd love to toss a question in here if I can. These new Titan ones are super interesting to me. The five that are selected in each category. I'm just curious, what's the is there a internal scoring system? Like, where do you guys come up with the different five? Will they change, and if so, how often will they change?
Ryan, go for it.
Yep. So these are just the 5 top market capitalization names in each given sector, and they'll be rebalanced and reconstituted quarterly. And so let's just say, for the sake of example, a certain tech company passes Oracle. Let's just, pass them in market cap. I believe Palantir is the next highest market cap one up in there. Next quarter, Palantir would be introduced over Oracle if Oracle were to fall out and Palantir were to come in. At that new quarter, everything would be reset back to 20%. And so, kind of as we were talking about earlier on, where AMD's up so much today, it's going to be greater than 20% of that semis basket for the near future. That said, it starts pulling back. Those weights will fluctuate over time. So, at the start of each quarter, the 5 names will just be the 5 largest market cap names. Each will be weighted 20%. And then you'll let the quarter unfold and then reset it again come next quarter.
Yeah, and what I'd say there is, very intentional in terms of the index design. So these are tracking indices, and so for each of the traditional sectors, it's S&P indices, and then for semis and biotech, it's indices from ICE. And in both scenarios, I think when we thought through design, we were ensuring that every quarter you'd have an opportunity to get the Titans again. And I think with that reset of being quarterly, it matches where in most of these sectors in particularly, you're not going to see a lot of movement in terms of reconstitution. You're clearly going to rebalance back and be able to run through the next quarter in terms of opportunity or intra-period. But for something like biotech, I think there's maybe a different story, right? You look at that as an industry, and it's not as concentrated at the top. You have a lot of names that tend to sit in the same little range. If you look at a broader biotech product with Lab U or Lab D, they kind of offers you exposure across those, it's called 120, 125 names. The top holdings in that industry group, and this data is a little bit late now, but the top five is only about 12, 12 and 3/4%. That's a really low concentration number, right? Top being about 2.67%. Now we're offering you something that's getting you to 20. And so what you'd expect is you go to that next name, you're likely to get, a name that's going to move out. You may have 3 or 4 names that move out quarterly, and I think that that speaks to a place where you want to be pulling in names that potentially have benefited from a big dynamic change within an industry group where there's disruption that's at play comparatively more established sectors or industries.
It's super interesting, the concept, and seeing, a basket of 5 with the leverage instead of buying 5 single stock. What was the thought process around that? It just seems more simplified when I think about it. If I have to go buy 5 different things, and keep up with the different 5, is that kind of the simplistic, "Hey, we've got a professional team over here. We're gonna put this together and just make it a little bit easier on retail." That seems like a great idea. I'm just curious if that's kind of the thought process that happened there. And maybe even, can you speak to why I would want 5 in a basket leveraged versus trying to pick and choose? Just, it seems maybe a little bit more balanced. Is that the thought?
I think yes and yes would be my initial reaction. Obviously, build on it, and then Ryan, provide your commentary as well. And so, I think that as we think about product development and what we're bringing to market, we want to be thoughtful of giving lots of blunt instruments, your tools, and then also giving solutions. And so, I look at something like the top five, and it's a bit more of a solution. It creates a simplicity, as you just demonstrated. For you want to trade the largest names, great. I have a solution for you. You want to hedge one of the names out? Great. I have another solution for you over here. You want to just trade and express a view on the broader industry or of 124 names within biotech? Fantastic. I have a solution for you. And so you want to continue to think through where tools make sense versus solutions and then orient accordingly. And I think to the number, whether it's 5 or 10 or 15 or 20, as we thought through it and we had conversations with other tactical traders, we had conversations in terms of risk and parameters and controls. We really like the idea of, in some ways, just keeping it simple at 5 and just the messaging and simplicity associated with that, and then just the exposure of 20%. And so with that, you have an opportunity intra-period to see a little bit of a run in a name or two that you can benefit from, and it's pretty darn concentrated, and you're getting rid of that noise. And so that was really a feature that we were trying to solve for, and not a bug. And I think we'll continue to listen to traders and feedback and things that are happening across the various communities from a trading perspective, and ensure that we hit the mark there. Maybe there is an opportunity to think about something that's potentially at a higher number. That's something we would consider. But Ryan, feel free to jump in as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd echo everything Mo said. I think that's all on the nose. The other piece of the puzzle here, too, is there just aren't single stock names for every one of the names across these four funds, particularly when you look at biotech. I mean, biotech inherently is not going to have those mega cap names that you'd see, even if you look at like pharmaceuticals or other healthcare names like UNH. It's not very easy to get 2x exposure on those single names. And so, as Mo kind of mentioned on from the outset, one of the things we pride ourselves on here at Direction is what I'll call operational excellence. We only partner with the largest big bank counterparties for our swaps. We have the best swap traders in the world working on our desk, ensuring that they get the tightest trades possible. And so, if you look at some other firms who offer leverage, they don't always necessarily get the exposure in the cleanest way possible. Sometimes they use options, sometimes they use futures, and you're just exposed to more slippage or transaction costs as a result of that. And so, taking a look at biotech, as a retail investor, you just can't get 2x exposure to each of these five names. But we go out there, work with the biggest banks in the world, we get the exposure across these five names, and we offer you a simple bundled solution to trade them in one place. Again, even for our funds like semis or tech, for example, where we do have the 2x names, it's more costly for you to go out there and trade five names for yourself than it is for you to just buy our single rapid solution. Even just thinking about it as something as simple as trying to make something equal weight yourself, all of a sudden you have to run a sheet, just making sure NAVs are in line, making sure you're getting the right number of shares, and making sure the market doesn't move on you at an inconvenient time. So I would just kind of, as Mo said, I view this as a more precise tool than it is like a blunt instrument like our 2x names.
One last question, just the rebalancing of this. Obviously, you mentioned quarterly. You'll check the market cap and rebalance that way. But as far as the example where AMD runs really big and stuff, these are daily rebalanced, right? As far as the weighting between each one.
So they're the daily leverage resets. So they're not daily rebalanced. So
Okay.
tomorrow, assuming AMD keeps its gain today, it'll be a bigger proportion of the basket than, let's just say, Nvidia, but the leverage itself will reset. And so the magnitude you see your fund go up and down is the leverage piece of the puzzle. The underlying constituents are just going to move at their own pace. We want to let you experience the full run up in AMD. Let's say AMD keeps ripping tomorrow and we had trimmed the position. Well, you're experiencing less of the gain. And same goes on the bear side, where we would want to make sure you can kind of play the full pullback of AMD. So we let these indices run quarterly, where the underlying holdings kind of free float, but that leverage kind of resets daily, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. That was actually, I don't want to call it a concern, but that was kind of my thought was like, oh, wait a second, massive breakout on a certain name, is it just going to rebalance back in? But you guys are leaving that, but you're just daily rebalancing just the leverage section. That answered my question perfectly. And you guys went with um, balanced across. So each quarter, I guess it's starting out 20% each of the five names. You're not doing a market cap weighted or anything like that.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, you look at the broader market, especially you look at something like semis. If we were to do market cap weighting, it almost becomes like a closet 2x Nvidia fund, just given how large they are relative to some of their peers. So we want you to be able to get that AMD exposure at the proper level and get to play days like today, where you do get those major pops.
Perfect, Ryan, Mo. Really appreciate you guys taking those questions. That was several in a row for me. I'll pass it back over to Gav.
Yeah, I think we covered stuff really well. The only thing that I was just maybe going to dive into before we wrapped up was one, is there anything that we have not touched on yet that you think is important that we make sure that we cover for the audience?
I think from my point of view, you guys did an excellent job. Appreciate doing some homework in advance and having some thoughts and questions here. I guess broadly speaking, we're always here to listen, and so feel free to come to us. Engage with us on social, give feedback, give questions. We're going to make ourselves more available in these forums moving forward, but intra period that doesn't stop the dialogue, and we truly care about what you guys are thinking about and how we design product to suit you and how we potentially change the existing product to better meet the needs that you may have. So I think less of a here's something we missed off of Titans and more of a broad PSA is going forward. I've been in the seat for about 6 months. We're in the midst of a lot of exciting, dynamic things happening across our industry. We're going to continue to lead in this space. We're also looking into other areas of the market that I'm really excited about, and we'll look forward to kind of sharing some of those things with the group when that's appropriate. But I don't think anything else really from my side on Titans. I know, Ryan, I want to give you an opportunity. You've done an immense amount of work here to make sure that there's nothing else that you think the group should be more broadly aware of.
No, I mean, I really appreciate the dialogue today. Great questions from everybody on the crowd too. I would say, I think it was Evan who had asked the question of, or what other sectors are we looking at? And to just kind of echo what Mo just said, you tell us, engage with us on social. We want to hear your feedback as traders. You guys are the ones out there using these products every single day. We want to make sure we're offering you everything you need. So again, engage with us on social, visit us on our website as well. And, just keep learning about our products, get smarter around them. And, I believe there's great opportunities for trading a lot of our funds.
Perfect. Well, then I really want to thank both of you for taking the time to come spend it with us here today. I know we're going to have more shows upcoming, so I'll just give everybody actually a heads up. I believe that the next show that we're going to do together is a live stream, so it's going to be a little bit of a different format. And that's going to be coming up on the 9th. So on Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern, we will be live streaming with Direction, and we're going to dive a little further into these new Titan ETFs. We'll be able to screen share, walk through some of the details, and have a little bit of a different audience and perspective. So looking forward to that coming up. Ryan, any final comments for the audience here today?
Now, like I said, once again, just want to thank them and obviously want to thank you as well. This was a pleasure. Really good to engage with this audience. Great questions from the group. And as I said, anytime you guys have any questions, any ideas, engage with us on social and just reach out.
My pleasure. And one more time before I go to Mo for final comments, those tickers that we discussed here today: TTXU, TTXD, TSXU, TSXD, TEXU, and TBXU. Mo, any final comment from you?
Yeah, I think my final comment would be just be bold, trade the Titans, right? That's the tagline. Give them a look. Obviously, do your homework. But hopefully, we've created here something here that is interesting to all of you, and we look forward to continuing to engage.
Incredible. Ryan, did you have a final comment there? I saw your hand went up. Sorry, two. I know there's two Ryans on
Me,
stage.
me,
Apologies.
Ryan, me, Ryan. Yeah, actually, real quick, just if I can sneak this in, I got a DM question here. Someone said I'm not super educated when it comes to trading leveraged ETFs. Is there an education area somewhere? And I know a portion of this answer because you can go to the direction.com website. There's a whole section here on education. But Ryan, Mo, if for our listener and the one that's asking this question, I'm sure there's others with the similar thought process that are wanting to do some homework on this and get studied up on it. The education section on your website, any tips on how to go in and kind of do the homework, get familiar with these products so they can get into them a little bit more comfortably?
I think that's exactly the place to go to direction.com. As I had teased a touch earlier, we have the Direction ETF University. We've put an immense amount of time, energy, and effort. We've done some recent refreshes to that. We'll continue to expand it, but it has what you need to understand how leverage works and to ensure that you're informed. And then, obviously, as we've kind of said throughout, don't hesitate to engage with us. There are questions that come up off of these products or how direction works. The URL, just so everyone is very, very clear, is www.direction.com/learn. And that's a great place to begin that journey.
Yeah, I see that right here under education and insights on the left hand side. Direction, leverage, and inverse ETF University. You click in here, there's a whole course that you can go into. So, for the listener and anyone else that was asking or curious, wanting to do some homework before, especially before the next space we have with these guys, let's go in and do some of that homework. Check it out right there on the website.
Beautiful. Ryan, Mo, thanks so much for taking the time to spend with us here today. Looking forward to the live stream and continuing to work together with you guys.
Yeah, thank you
Thank you
guys. It
all.
was a pleasure.
Amazing. To the audience, stick around. We have an afternoon show here coming up, talking more about this market, this ripping market,
She keeps
and some
lying.
live trading. She keeps flying. And also, for those that always are looking at the schedule, of course, in just a couple minutes here, EMP is going to jump over and host the small cap space here today as well. And small caps, not too shy in this market as well, continuing to move. I believe we are at all-time highs
New all time
on
highs.
IWM. Literally set, this morning, new all-time highs in IWM. So small caps, a lot to be seen there as well. And reminder, they're having quite the breakout here. If you look at that 5-year chart, because we've only recently gotten above those highs of 2021, unlike SPY, which has really broken out. So maybe there's some more room. So keep your eyes on those. But man, Jordan, that market really did not let up during this entire past
I don't know
hour.
if you've seen gold
We
too, but it just doesn't stop there either. Gav,
well, I've got BTGD, brother.
oh
That's my exposure,
yeah, it's just
Bitcoin and gold.
ridiculous. I think it's
I
a weird
bought I
period where
bought
everything's
BT.
ripping right now. Something's got to give at some point.
Oh yeah, I bought BTGD last Monday. Is the first thing I did after I saw the government shutdown, and I'm up a little bit over 9% in
There
a
you go.
week.
Yeah, just yeah.
The only thing that I noticed wasn't green earlier today, but is back in the green now is Robinhood. Robinhood came out hot, was at 153
Well,
this
they had some
morning, and then
trouble this morning,
dropped
didn't
into the
they?
red.
And Weeble.
Yes, they did, which is always so funny. It's the power of Twitter. You can actually figure it out. Because to me, I was just like, "Damn, is my Wi-Fi that bad?" And I was just like, "Wow, maybe I got to try service." And then my service wasn't. I was like, "Gosh, like my service is bad too today."
Look at you can see
So
they had the gap up. Everybody sold it because Robinhood wasn't working, and then we're on our track right back up to where we were. We're back above, or not above opening price, but almost at that opening price again. So I mean, not horrible.
yeah, yeah, things are continuing to work. Couple things that I'm watching, and then I'll go over to Sam. I see his hands up. Tesla. Oh boy. Pushing high of day right here. Actually, is high of day. Up 4.4%. Tesla now up 15% year to date. Reminder, it was down 30, 40, 43% in March. So, yeah, hope everybody, took their opportunity to grab some Tesla. We've done a Tesla show every single week, pretty much the entire year, and just continue to stay bullish on it. And that worked out real well. It's up 54% last 3 months. So not too shabby there. So keep your eyes on Tesla. I think that we are not done there. Palantir pushed back up really nice today after a 5% drop off on Friday that I think freaked people out a little bit. We have moved up really nice, or maybe it was Thursday. Apologies. We've moved up really nicely here back to the 180 level on PLTR. So up about percent on the past week, but up about 136% year to date. Palantir continuing to look great. Robinhood, like I mentioned, that just shows strength, being able to claw back into the green. Issues got solved. I look at Bitcoin and gold. We talked about both of them. Bitcoin right here, by the way, new all-time highs on Bitcoin at this moment. We just broke 125,500 for the first time ever, and we just pushed about $50 above that while I was talking right there. So pushing new all-time highs on Bitcoin as we're talking. Reminder, when Bitcoin goes, it waits for nobody. So either jump on the train or get run over. Ethereum looking for new all-time highs as well. Reminder, Ethereum all-time highs right around 48.50. So we have about $200, a little bit less than $200 to go on Ethereum. So just continue to keep your eyes on that. If anybody has the official 52-week high on Ethereum, feel free to let me know, and I will read that out. Continuing to keep eyes on it. I know there's a bunch of other names. So the crypto miners have just been absolutely ripping, and Iron decided that it was not done today. 13.5% today on IREN, Iron Limited. This name's becoming a FinTwit favorite. It's now almost a $16 billion market cap. It's up 455% this year, 250% of that just in the last 3 months. I added this to my crypto bull portfolio for the Wolf Financial folks in the room. I will actually pin that to the top of the space. If you guys want to see my crypto bull portfolio, you can actually see the entire thing for free. And if you want to invest alongside it, there's about 13 million right now. Copy investing it or investing alongside it, whatever you want to call it. I just pinned that to the top of the space, but all the positions are available to see. And I did add Iron into there, not too far back actually. So IREN, keep an eye on it. That position is up. Let me see. 31.5%. I only added it last week. So yeah,
Thirty-one and a
crypto's
half
on an absolute
percent
tear.
in a week is ridiculous. There you go.
I know, and I missed most of the move. I came in late. Iron was already up 300% this year. And I was like, all right, we had one down day. It had one down day of like 10%. And I was like, I'm buying.
I'm bu-
And now I'm up 31% on it.
There we go.
So funny how that works. What else did I look at? BM&R. I have 8% BM&R position in that portfolio
Oh,
at
so you're on the
10.5%.
BM&R train too. All right. All right.
Yeah, yeah. BM&R is up 7% today. It broke 60. It's up about 40% in the past month, 18% in the past week. I did add BM&R. That BM&R position's up about 16% roughly on there. One name that really goes under the radar, I don't hear anybody talking about this ETF, but it's one of the best performing ETFs of the year, is WGMI, WAGMI, which stands for We're All Going to Make It. It's a CoinShares Bitcoin mining ETF. So they own Bitcoin mining companies inside of here. I'd actually love to pull up WGMI ETF holdings real quick and just go over what some of these holdings are, because this thing is just absolutely ripping people's faces off. I have not seen ETFs move quite like this in a little bit, besides for the leveraged ones. And reminder, this is not leveraged. This is literally just WGMI, 76% move in the last
Oh,
month.
wow.
No leverage. Yeah, isn't that
That's
crazy?
insane. Yeah. No
So
leverage.
so yeah,
Wow.
this is largely benefiting from Iron. That Iron move is factoring in. This is 24% Iron, 14.2% CIFR. CIFR also having a big move. If anyone follows Mike Alfred, he talks a lot about CIFR and a few others. Dude, I have like the greatest fumble of all time on CFR. No, that's not true. It's not the greatest fumble of all time. It's just funny to me. I bought CIFR in December of 23 at $5.58 per share,
Oh, no.
which, look at that. It was literally the freaking top. I nailed the top back in December of 23 on CIFR. You can go back and, well, it wasn't like the top, but it was not great. Like
It was
it
up
just
there.
basically like it just yeah, it just like basically started dumping from there. So I think I bought it like five something dollars per share, went down to like $2 per share at one point, and then it has come all the way back. So CIFR is now trading at 15 and a half. I don't actually feel terrible. It would have been like a triple, but whatever, it is what it is. I sold it at a profit. I held enough to get into profit. But yeah, and then it has Bitfarms in there, Riot, TerraWolf, CleanSpark, Hive Digital, HUD 8, Core Science, like everything inside this ETF has worked so well this year. And that's why WGMI is one of your best performing, if not the best non-leverage performing this
Hmm.
year, potentially. I would actually go out of my way to say that. And yeah, that's a lot of it. The last one, actually, that I'll just put out because I'm kind of just running through that portfolio. But again, I encourage everybody take a look. People are putting big money, by the way, behind this crypto bull portfolio. Jordan, you want to hear about
Yeah,
this?
definitely. I was gonna ask what's going on there.
Yeah. So this past week is the largest inflows that I've ever seen of people. Because basically, if anyone's unfamiliar with autopilot, it lets you essentially like invest alongside people. So like I copy trade Nancy Pelosi through there, and I'm up 33% this year. Copy trading Nancy Pelosi, and so for me, like that's something that's worked out great. Within these positions, though, so I can kind of see how much is coming in. And this past week, roughly $2 million came in behind the crypto bull. I had a day where $650,000 came in from somebody who was putting it behind it. So people definitely want this, and so for me, I mean, it's cool. The cool part is again, you guys can all literally see the holdings for free. So just go check that out. It's through that link that I pinned up top, and if you want to invest alongside it, you can feel free to. But yeah, that's a lot of what I'm looking at, man. Crypto's ripping, the market's working. I look at this government shutdown. It seems like it's working really well for many aspects of the market. Right now, Kalshi predicts a 21 and a half day government shutdown.
How long was the last
So
one
we are
again? Do
only
you remember?
okay. So the longest one ever, I believe, was the last one, and it was in 2018, and it was 35 days, and it was over funding for the what do you call it, the border wall, I want
Yeah.
to say. That was either the last one or there was one other in between, but I'm pretty sure that that was the last one. This would, if this goes for 21 days, this would be the second longest ever. And obviously, if anybody remembers 2018, we came out of that government shutdown and we ripped into an absolute bull market through 2019, and then of course 2020 things just went ape shit. So that is just a couple pieces to continue to feel for. But yeah, I'm not. I posted it earlier today. Repeat after me. All-time highs are not bearish. I think people get a little bit in their heads with some of this stuff. You can certainly, take some profits with these pieces, but the problem is if you just completely exit a market like this, you leave so much on the table so often. So that's the last thing that I'd want to do personally. You can hedge yourself, right? If there's smart ways to do that. If you're going to put money in cash, I use BOXX. You at least earn 4% on that cash. So you're earning some money. But for me, this is not a time where I'm like completely, taking foot off the gas or anything like that.
Agreed. I don't think you can. You just look back at history. Every all-time high we've had, and it's never been bearish before, really. And we do have our turnaround periods where we have corrections, of course, but it's generally not coming off of, a breach
Right.
of all-time
I mean,
highs ever.
what you could do
So,
in this market is you could just use red days for buying, right? Because we're having so few of them
yeah.
necessarily. And so like that's what I did with iron. Literally, I was looking at iron and I was like, where is my entry? And I just kept on missing my entry because it just literally had all these green days. And then if you look back on September 26th, or was it on October 2nd? No, September 26th. Yeah. Like it just had that red day and it was down. And I was like, okay, here's my entry. And then it just ripped up from there. So maybe you can just use, because we're going to have red days. There's going to be red days every week. There should, at least. It's probably not healthy if we don't have them. So in my opinion, just utilize them as your entry opportunities. That's where I see them, and don't fight the trend is really the big thing. And right now, gold is a great trend. Like one name, Jordan, that I was looking at in the gold world, which is working out really well, is Kinross Gold. KGC is the ticker. Look at that chart.
Wait,
K
KJC?
KGC.
KGC, sorry. Gotcha. Oh, this thing has been beautiful. And it's, gosh, relatively cheap still as well, like in terms of share price. I know it's at highs, of course. But just about coming into that resistance all-time highs, but if we get breaking out, this could be again like we're just
So
talking about. All-time highs are not bearish. If this really gets breaking all-time highs
it just
with
broke them.
momentum, this could
I'm pretty
be
sure.
spicy. What's up?
Oh, actually, maybe. Yeah, you're correct. Actually, I thought that we'd broken all-time highs, but you are correct. It looks like the all-time high is
A little bit more.
27.42, right around there. So yeah, to me, it's like I love playing the breakout through all-time highs. Oh, actually, whoa, we're even higher than that all the way back. Okay, well, okay, you can go pretty far back. This stock has been around since 1994. I guess the all-time high was technically in 1996. It went all the way up to
Oh, that 32.
31.95.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'd look at that and say, all right, well, it's another $6, $7 before this even hits all-time highs. And so here's like the opportunity how I would play this from a technical perspective. You have a high that was made in 2008, right before the global financial crisis, and that high was at 27.28. So if we break 27.28, that path to 31 looks nice right there, right? And so you can kind of play these different levels.
I agree. What was that ticker that you mentioned that you keep your cash in generally when you're heavier
Yeah,
cash?
I use BOXX, and I find
OXX.
that this is
Gotcha.
okay. So here's the
I
thing.
just haven't seen this one. I was like,
Look at
what's
the
this one?
chart. It's
Oh, what? Wait. What?
Yeah, it's literally short-term bonds. So
That's awesome.
this is basically just okay. So if you're in a if your cash is in a account like Robinhood and you have Robinhood Gold, like you're fine. You don't have to put your cash into an ETF because you're already earning uh interest. And like I
Yeah.
even do the boost, so I earn 4.25% on my cash. And so cool. Like I'm just gonna take that 4.25. But if you do not, and you're in Fidelity or Schwab or anything that is
Uh-oh.
not offering
I
you
lost Gav.
4% on your cash, I would recommend just taking your free
Might
cash and
might
just
have gotten a
buying
phone call.
BOXX.
It's possible.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, this BOXX is crazy. I haven't
yeah,
seen this one. I know we've talked about some um, income style ETFs. We talk about them all week and some others that are kind of in this. I'm trying to think of the one.
right.
There's another one we used
Jordan,
to
I have a
always
special
grab.
interest though, person. Jordan,
THLCs, no, something like that. But
yeah.
it was similar to this.
Well, Jordy, can you hear me?
I will tell you, the chart did not look like this though.
Oh,
That's crazy.
I think my sound went out for him. All right, I'm gonna rejoin.
I wonder if it's. All right, I refreshed. I was having issues. I didn't mean to. But yeah, that BOXX. Everybody check that out. I haven't looked at that at all. And as well, that was a great conversation with Direction. So that link is still up top for everybody, or that tweet with all those tickers. And under that tweet, there's another tweet with the link to the actual Titans leverage ETFs. If you guys want to, read up on that. Oh, there he is. He's coming back. There he is. My bad. I don't know what happened. I
Yeah,
think
I think you just couldn't hear me. You got me
I
now?
think I cut out or something. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I'm back.
Okay,
This
you got
thing's
me.
awesome though. This BOXX. I've never seen this before with this chart like this. This is wild.
I don't think you can still hear me.
I got you.
Um, Oh, you got me?
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool. Hey, so BOXX, what I was going to say, there's actually a special interest for me in BOXX, and it's not. It's a great tool, by the way, across the board. You can obviously see. I mean, they have strong AUM. Like, I think anybody could look at this and say, like, hey, this makes sense. There's 8 billion in it. For me, it actually makes even more sense. There's this little loophole that I found. So, Jordan, you know how I have no capital gains taxes because I
Of
live in
course.
Puerto Rico. Yeah. So, fun fact for everybody: if you move to Puerto Rico and you live there for most of the year, and you apply for Act 60 and you get approved, you will not have any capital gains taxes. So I don't have any capital gains taxes. And because of that, there's a big difference for me between money markets versus capital gains. So if I put my money in a money market like Robinhood, I get paid interest on it. Interest is considered income, it is not considered capital gains. But if I purchase BOXX is considered capital gains. It adds to itself, right? And so it's basically just continuing to price appreciate. And then when I sell it, I would have gains. So in fact, if I make my whatever it is, 4% a year through BOXX, and then I sell it whenever I sell it, no capital gains. If I make my money through a regular money market account, like just sitting in Robinhood or something like that, then I would have to pay on the income that I receive, state income tax.
That's a
So
nice
that's
little
actually
tidbit there. That
yes, the
that
big
like
difference.
pushes you to want to own that rather than just collect interest because, that benefit
Correct.
is huge. So, love that.
Exactly. So that's the main piece for me. That just leads me to continuing to want to hold it. But I think that the tool is great for everyone. And I've also talked with their team before. Smart team. So cool guys.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I'm gonna be taking advantage of that one for sure.
Yeah, why not? I mean, just I'll tell anybody. Think about this: if you're sitting on $100,000 of cash, and that cash is not making any money. Not only are you actually losing technically $2,000 to $3,000 per year right now due to inflation, but you're missing out on whatever. Let's say $3,750 per year right now because they just lowered interest rates. So let's say it's 3750, right? You divide it by 12. That means every month, if you had 100K sitting, you could be making risk free $312.50. Risk free that you could be making, but you're not because it's just sitting there earning nothing, or it's just sitting there because you're waiting for an opportunity or a market sideline. So just be smart with your cash. Cash is not trash when interest rates are not 0%. It is only trash when interest rates are 0%. Otherwise, you can do plenty with it. Ethereum just broke 4,700, by the way.
Boom. Yeah, let's watch some crypto. I know the market's a little
Jordy,
quieter
how
here.
long are you running the
Crypto's
space for? Are you going to live stream it all today?
I I we didn't plan on it, but I'm always down to hop on.
Okay, we could chill in here for a little bit. I'm just working. If anybody has any questions
Sorry, I was getting a
specifically,
call, but yeah,
yeah,
I'm
request
always
up
down to hop
or
on the live. What's up? Sorry.
I was gonna say if anybody has any questions or stuff you want us to look at, request up or drop a comment. Obviously, this market is hot right now. I'm happy to run some technical analysis. I know I'm not always on these spaces so much anymore. I've got a lot of stuff that I do for the business on the back end, but I'm always happy to take a look at stuff and give my thoughts.
Yeah. We were looking. I don't know if you've been seeing, but Coinbase has just been on fire. Of course, crypto's been ripping, so it's a
Well, I love
given
that.
there. But the whole time we were kind of quiet. We were all watching it. I had this so simple, Gav, just 50% retracement fib from the tariff lows to the all-time highs that we made. And we talked about how all-time highs, aren't super bearish. Well, we did sell a bit from Coinbase all-time highs, but you can tell, like when we sold, what am I watching? If we're really like scared and thinking things are gonna, really go down a lot further than we want, I got to be watching this halfway retracement because that's going to be a big spot that bulls are holding, right? If we're going to continue higher, and we had that big gap above us. We basically just made that base for what was it, like 43, 45 days or so. So about month and a half, just sitting in that range, 2 months or so, and then we finally got some momentum. But the whole time, just holding that 50% retracement at 293.61, barely dropped below it, maybe a few wicks below it on a couple of those days, and this whole time just building that structure to be able to get to that gap now, and now we're there. So see if this can get back to the all-time highs. That's one that I've been watching heavily with crypto going higher right now. I know BMNR has been a big one on watch too. Evan's always always chiming in on that. Looking good, honestly. I have nothing bad to say about BM&R either. This thing looks amazing. I know you own that too. Where are you owning that at right now? It's at 61. Jeez.
My cost average on BM&R. Well, okay, so I have in two different areas because I have BM&R and I have Coinbase as well inside of the
The
crypto bull
yeah,
portfolio. So I
yeah.
have both of them in there. Um, I got into BM&R earlier on the crypto bull one, so those people actually have a better cost basis. My cost basis in my personal portfolio is $49.86. So I'm up like 24% on it there. But I actually got into it like at like 30 something, I think, on the crypto bull one. But it averaged out. I bought a lot more. I doubled down on it once it popped. So it moves in and out. Like I'll trade a little bit more in that portfolio here and there. So like I bought BM&R, then it popped 50% in like 2 days after I bought it. So I sold like half the position, and then I of course bought more later.
It's
So it
almost
just kind of like moves.
like you love to make quick money like that, but it's almost hard when that happens because you're like, okay, well, my plan was to hold this for a while,
Well,
and
yeah, I
in
mean, if you
2 days,
listed
a day, I make freaking 50% on. It's like, what do I do? Do I continue with this? Do I sell some? I like struggle with that because with the day trading, it's so simple. I'm just like have full position to my target, but with like swing trading and like investing a little bit more, it's a little tougher like that because you want to catch more of that move, more of the pie. But when you catch that big of a move so quick, it's like, gosh, I should just get out of this thing and stay safe. It's tough.
yeah, crazy. Oh boy.
I'm gonna set up the stream right now and hop on and we'll stream for the back half of the day.
Yeah, I don't know if I can be on with the whole time, but I'll
Oh
jump
no,
in for a
you're
little
good.
bit.
You don't have to hop on if you're busy. No worries. I was just gonna hop
I
on
mean,
and
I'll come in for a little bit.
yeah.
I'm trying to look at the comments and trying to see what the most recent ones were. Someone said
Um
Box 3% return actually below my money market. I don't know. I mean, I was looking at Box. It's just the 1 to 3 month uh, short-term Treasury bill ETFs. So it's actually going to be the exact same. I mean, as any money market would be using. If you look over the past year, it's returned 4.48%. Um, so it just moves in tune with whatever the Federal Reserve sets. I mean, Fed sets rates and then bonds move off those rates and then
mhm.
Box is just holding those bonds. So if you're getting better on some money market, to be honest, again, like it's not a competition. The idea is just put your money somewhere that it's going to earn more money. If you can
Exactly.
get more
Yeah.
elsewhere, go use that. Don't use Box. I don't care. I don't have a deal with Box. I don't work with them. I
Yeah,
just happen to own the
yeah.
product. So yeah. And if I did, I would disclose it. I would say that I work with them and those pieces, and especially if I own something like BTGD, I work with them. I own the ETF, right? So like
That's a great
I'm
ticker,
very
by the
upfront.
way. Gosh, what a phenomenal ticker. We've talked about it so much, and just like every time we talked about it, I remember the first time we got on, and we were actually on a beautiful dip. And gosh, I wish I just bought on that first space that
Yeah,
we ever talked
I
about it.
I did buy it in if you remember the competition portfolios
Oh yeah,
for
I
um
still play around with that, Gav. Like I took
so
a bunch of money out of it, but I had like a few $100 left, and I've been playing with that, just growing that, having fun with it.
mine I haven't taken any money out. Mine's up 151%.
Oh wow.
I think since in about 1 year roughly since we started that, I have Palantir in there up 548%. I have Hood in there up 555%. I have BTGD up 97.5%. I have Apple up 20%, Amazon up 12, and Berkshire Hathaway up 9. And I'd be up even more in this portfolio if Berkshire Hathaway wasn't trailing so hard because this portfolio is a decent amount Berkshire Hathaway. But Palantir and Hood have just taken off so strongly in 5x that they've become the biggest positions.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, Hood, Palantir, both officially five baggers for me. Um, in multiple portfolios, actually, five baggers in that portfolio and in my personal portfolio, where I own more of them than I do in that portfolio. You know what's cool? Also, Hood has that ROBN product. Right when Hood, I should have bought it beforehand, but um, well, actually, kind of did. So the nice thing that me and you have talked about, and we do work with ROBN, so full disclosure, and I do own it, but I also love the product. the cool thing about these ETFs is that you can trade them in after hours. So Robinhood was getting into the S&P 500, and I guess I'd forgotten like during market hours to purchase, but I went in and I just bought it like right after market close, and I'm up 85%
Oh wow.
on ROBN, and it's only been I bought it on September 5th, so it's been 1 month and it's up 85%. So yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I realize we are in a raging bull market. Please do not like base your long-term views on people in this. Like we're all geniuses right now. You could throw shit at the wall and it's working. But I will say there is something to say for having enough conviction to at least buy. So I think that that's something to remember because everybody can put on their watch list or tweet about it. Um, but you can actually go, and all my buys are publicly tracked. You can see them on the Crypto Bull, you can see them on Blossom Social, and you can actually see the tracker history. So pressing the buy button is one piece. And Bitcoin, by the way, headed for 126 right here, new all-time
Let's
highs.
go. Oh, I love
125,000.
this
Let's
stuff.
get on the live stream so we can just pull up the Bitcoin chart
Yeah,
and just
so I'm in
keep it in
here.
the
I'm gonna
corner.
send you the link. I think just the only thing is since I'm signed in basically through your account, you might have to join through a different email or else it'll kick me out.
Sure. I'll figure it out. I think we can both be in as hosts,
Okay. Yeah, as long as that works. Here, let me send you this link. Hold on.
except when you're selling calls against it. Somebody said, "Oh, yeah, small cap space." By the way, going right now, almost 200 people in there. So just putting that out. If anybody, I'd encourage everybody to come over to our live stream if you still want to be on Spaces. Spaces are still running from the Wolf Financial account.
All right, I just sent you that link. We'll get in here. Let me get it
Oh,
posted
and
too. Oh wait,
I
this
know
is.
I'm also usually behind like Wolf Financial or something, but thanks for all the follows.
Hold on. Hold
To
on. Don't
my
join that one. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. Yeah, thanks for all the follows to my my personal account. I'll take them. Appreciate everybody. Uh, why does this look wrong?
I gotta do a different one. That's the link for this Friday. We already accidentally went on that one.
Hmm. All right, we're moving over.
How's Tesla? Yeah, I'm gonna keep this open. I'll get the tweet posted, but yeah, we'll move over to stream. I'll send you a new link right now. And this one will be the one that works. All right, join that one.
All right.
I'll pick the title.
Oh wow, I see people trimming some stocks right here. Interessante. I am joining your link right now.
Okay, no worries. We'll
It's
get that
just
going.
here. Let me see what it'll do if I join in. Go for expert.
Should be good, I think.
Yeah, you see me here?
Yeah, should be good.
Alrighty. How do you want to transition people over to this? Do you get it running first?
I'm just gonna post a tweet and
Cool.
yeah, we just go live and get started. Do you want me to bring up a chart or you want to bring up the chart?
You can go for it. Is there a way that we can just get that like sitting on the side? I think if we can pull up Bitcoin right now, that would be good, and we'll have it in there. By the way, yeah, so stream is live. If people want to start migrating over to that, just saying that for the space, it is live to Wolf Trading on Twitter and on YouTube. I'm gonna overlay real quick. Where's the logo? Oh, you don't have the logo in here.
You got my screen now?
Yeah.
Let me get this tweet posted for
Perfect. Yeah, come in, join up, guys. We actually had people commenting below earlier today asking about a live stream and seeing charts. So if that was you, we are live. And we have the Bitcoin, actually, sorry, that's Apple chart up right now on the screen. and we'll get a couple others up here, and we'll just keep seeing if we can push all-time highs across the board here.
Just monster.
Yeah, SPY, by the way, we're not quite at all-time highs, but we aren't far off of them. All-time highs are going to be closer to 672.68, so we probably need about 60 cents from here, which seems pretty doable to me. And then QQQ, we are at all-time highs on QQQ. Well, we technically pushed them this morning, but for all intents and purposes, all-time highs have been made today, and we're maybe a few cents off from new all-time highs. Evan's saying to change the Evan's saying change the title. Does it let you change the title once it's out?
I'll just eat this live.
Yeah, for sure. I have this like 1950s look going over here because of the lighting in here. Looks like an old head. All right, there's still 418 people in the space. Reminder, we're going to close this space shortly. We are live on YouTube and Twitter through video. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, it is on the same timeline as the host account on Wolf Trading. You can just scroll down. It says, I mean, it's literally live on the timeline. You can just scroll down and see it right there. Okay, yeah, I'll turn it to you.
All right, yeah, guys, I threw that link up top. So everybody join the stream. We're over on YouTube. We're over on X as well. I think the YouTube has no delay though. So that's going to be better for everybody. So hop on over there. We'll be back on Spaces tomorrow for everybody bright and early. For the rest of the day, we'll be on stream. So we'll see everybody there. Peace out.
said in a post like, don't Optimus know that you shouldn't wear a hat in the sauna? But then the Finnish people immediately corrected me that this is the correct way to do the sauna with a sauna hat. So I was wrong. I'm sorry for to the Finnish people, but yeah. So Optimus know how to sauna.
Hi, Omar. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning.
Good.
Yeah, Finnish people take the sauna very seriously.
um,
Everyone in Finmark.
I don't even know how to respond to that. Yeah. Uh, so Omar.
No, I'm serious. It's like their national pride. They all get naked and just get in the sauna together all the time.
Okay, so I won't be going there to get in the sauna.
There's literally a sauna for every Finnish people in the whole country. Like there are at least as many saunas as people in the country. That is not a joke. That is actually true. So yeah, they love sauna.
Yeah, so one time when I was in high school, my dad was opening a European branch of his software company that he was running at the time in Finland. So we went and stayed with this guy named Yuka, and he said, "Oh, you're here on our Finnish holiday of midsummer. So here's what we do. We're going out to this lake, and somehow the sun doesn't set. It just stays daytime all day. And what we're going to do is we've got this freezing cold lake, and then we've got a sauna next to it. And so we're going to go in the sauna. We'll keep our clothes on for you guys since you're Americans, but normally we wouldn't wear any clothes. And what we do is we jump into the freezing cold lake, and then we stay there for as long as we can, and then we run into the sauna, which is really hot. And then we stay there for as long as we can, and then we jump back into the lake. And this is our Finnish tradition." I was like, "All right, that's kind of fucked up, but you know, when in Finland, do as the Finns do, I guess." And so that's what we did.
Actually, you stay in the sauna first and get hot. Then you jump in the cold water. Then you go into the sauna again. So don't jump in the
Do
cold
you guys
water
do that
first.
too?
Yeah, like I've done that before. Like it's really refreshing. It's like, I don't know, you really get like, I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, it's like natural cocaine or something. You just like feel very alive when you do it.
So,
You should try
so
it.
you said
It's really
go
nice.
go jump in cold water after being in the sauna or before?
Yeah, no, after you go into sauna, you reach a heat, then you feel really, really warm. And then you go into the cold water, and it's just like, yeah, it's just like hits you like boom, and you just are 100% awake all of a sudden. But bathing in really cold water is also like without going in the sauna. It's actually pretty nice. You really feel alive when you do it.
Well, I am a sucker for a cold plunge, so makes sense. Smokey, go ahead.
It's not only a Finnish thing; it's an Eastern European thing. Basically, anywhere where the Vikings were back in the day, you're gonna find that they do that as like a body cleanse. They believe it cleanses the body to do it. That's why they feel so strongly about it, and it is lovely, actually.
Interesting. Yeah. So, Omar, do you have any thoughts on our lovely little video that we got from Tesla with Optimus? What's your take on that?
Well, it's a good way to get people to watch the video. I mean, if they just had Robin Denholm explaining this, we probably all would have fallen asleep in the first 5 seconds. But Optimus? Okay, shit, I'm watching this whole video through. And it does look like it's still the Optimus 2.5 design, but you are seeing, I think, a peek at the new hands, some of the new arm design, the elbows, and yeah, I don't think we've seen a lot of some of those details. So there is definitely kind of some Easter eggs to pour through if you're the kind of person who looks through this thing frame by frame. And yeah, I think I'm excited for the annual meeting. I'm excited for maybe seeing Optimus Gen 3. I'm excited for Elon's comp plan, the XAI investment, the more affordable models, and of course, FSD 14.
Feels like so many Christmases all wrapped into like a very short quarter.
Yeah, you give Elon a little $1 trillion comp package and he starts turning up the hype. It's that simple. All we had to do is give him $1 trillion.
Well, are we really giving him $1 trillion though? Let's be real. He's having to work. He's got to work his butt off for it. Like,
Well, we're giving him $80 billion worth of stock options if he meets certain
yeah,
milestones. And that $80 billion worth of options will translate into about $1 trillion if he actually makes the shares go up as much as we've asked him to, or, we've set the goals. So, yeah, I think it's fair.
yeah.
We did a deal like this before. It worked out well for us. I think it's worth trying again. Doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work again. Doesn't mean he's going to necessarily hit all the milestones, but what do we have to lose?
I mean, he doesn't perform. We don't pay. That's how I'm like. I mean, it's a no brainer for me. But I think that people, whenever they're tasked, we see humans seem to do much better on um, perform better when we're given compensation packages that are based on our performance versus just a status quo. Here's a salary job that it doesn't matter how much you perform, you're just going to make the same. So I think that it's
Proper motivation is a hell of a thing.
exactly, and I think he is going to hit everything that he's tasked with, and again, for myself, I honestly, I don't really care how much money he makes on this. I care about how much money I'm going to make if he makes everything happen. I'm like, again, it's just a no brainer. If he doesn't perform, then he doesn't get that. He doesn't get that full compensation package. And if he does, well, I mean, I'll see you guys at the beach. My treat. So no, but I also think when I was watching this, because I voted my shares, and Omar, I think you probably voted. I think most people voted already. Um, that are in this community, but I mean, I sure did watch the entire video, even though it was about something I've already done, already knew what I needed to do, didn't care. I sure watched this. And while I was watching, I'm like, this is what our advertisements need to be on how we educate people on electric vehicles. We need Optimus to be our spokesperson. No one else. No more humans. Let's just have Optimus, and let's let the robots make the commercials for the robot commercials going forward. I think that will get people's attention for sure, and they'll watch the whole way through. Anyone's got any opinions on that?
Hmm. I don't know. Like I don't know everything because at the end of the day, you don't have any facial expressions from Optimus. I think it would be kind of boring after a while, you know. But these kinds of like short videos, it would probably be okay.
Listen,
But something that I noticed when I watched the video, after a while, you kind of like starting to zone out because there's no real person. You just like a plastic face that has zero expression, that's just nodding. Uh, I don't know.
listen.
It's just
I think you're not using your imagination, Alexander. I'm disappointed. They It's going to be born until Optimus does a Chuck Norris roundhouse kick and like kicks through like a 2 foot thick concrete wall. Like it, the possibilities are endless with what Optimus is able to learn and able to do, and they can make very entertaining commercials. In my opinion.
do we really want an Optimus that can kick through a concrete wall? Is that like, I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh.
I
JC,
would want to
is
be.
he doing it again? Does he literally just not understand what fun is?
Yeah, okay.
I want my Optimus going through walls.
Yeah, you can have the Terminator in the US. Europe, we will be able. We want to be able to like Overman or whatever it's called, the Optimus robot.
Go more than 5 feet in a parking lot.
We're gonna
Exactly.
get the Terminator first.
Yeah.
Europeans are going to have to go through all kinds of regulatory rewrites, and it'll be 5 years, and then they'll finally get the Terminator too.
Yeah. I want my Optimus to be able to kick through a concrete wall. What are you talking about? I mean, I think everyone does. Like, you never know when you need to take down a concrete wall. Like, I don't know.
Just like Alexander, Optimus in Europe would be able to stamp denied on every request.
Wow. Wow. Such a buzzkill. Fun kill. Well, I mean, that's all that I really have. Does anyone else have anything they want to talk about? Smokey, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't see your hand.
Oh, no worries, bro. Dude, I see this being way bigger. So it's not only about having Optimus give the commercial. This is actually giving people a vision. They're seeing possibilities that they before could not see. They're actually seeing it become normalized. And that is the vision that I see. That's the part that really gets people excited when they start seeing, oh, this is a concept turning into reality. And that's why I could not agree more with Joe Nation. And Alexander, brother, you need to work on that imagination, sir.
Don't you worry, Smokey. I can imagine what happens when you release 1 million Terminators for people to play around with.
Why is it got to be a Terminator though? Why can't it be like 1 million Optimus teaching your kid how to properly throw a baseball or kick a soccer ball or a football, as you Europeaners call it, or teach your kid how to do ballet? Why is it got to always go to like the end of the world scenario? Why can't we have a world?
Oh, okay, so you're telling, like, how long do you think it will take until somebody puts a machine gun in the hands of Optimus and tells it like go bananas?
Well, Whistle and Diesel already put one in, not a machine gun, but a handgun in Unitree's hand. So I mean, whatever. It's not going to take very long. But that's not Optimus' problem. That's not Optimus' fault that humans are stupid.
Optimus will be able to take that.
3 laws of robotics won't do it.
Yeah, it's just because it holds a gun doesn't mean it's going to pull the trigger. I mean, a gun's only as harmful as its owner. But yeah, I mean, no, seriously, I look at Optimus. It's going to bring far more good. Like literally, you've always wanted to know how to do something. Maybe it's something stupid, and you're like, you don't get it, but you're too embarrassed to ask somebody. Ask your Optimus. It's not going to judge you. Well, I mean, it might. Alexander, your Optimus is definitely going to judge you on a fun scale. And right now, you're at like a negative mark. So you really got to work on your fun level.
But I would try it on a sausage first.
On a sausage. Okay. Well, you have fun with that. No, I mean, but I really do. I think that it's going to be awesome. We're going to be able to, anything that you can think of that you're like, that you want to know, Optimus is going to be able to unlock that for you where you can just learn stuff and it's going to improve your life, not terminate. Like, I stop watching movies, like the bad ones.
I'm happy to declare that I was trying to mimic the motions from the video, the Kung Fu, and I failed. So Optimus is already better than me.
Did you, by chance, video that?
I could.
I think you should.
I might. Let's just wait in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time? Okay.
I might learn to do it better.
I'm going to put money on it and say that you can't.
The way I'm looking at it, Optimus taught the guy how to Kung Fu.
Exactly. Yeah, wasn't that like a Matrix moment?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a bit racist here and just say it looked like he already knew Kung Fu. I'm just saying.
Racist?
Wait,
Did he say racist?
I think that's what he said. Alexander, what did you say?
No, I just said it looked like he already knew Kung Fu by the way he moved.
Okay, but you said racist.
Everything's racist.
Is it? I don't
What's
know.
going on?
So wait, are you saying Optimus already knew Kung Fu, or the guy supposedly teaching him, or the guy that Optimus was teaching already knew Kung Fu?
I don't think Optimus taught him how to do Kung Fu because I
Oh my
think he
god.
already
Oh
knew.
my gosh. Let's
It
do a
looked like
space
he
only
already knew
Americans
Kung
next
Fu.
time.
The way he moved, he's been doing that for a while.
I don't know how to respond to that.
You can't. Oh my gosh, Alexander, you're killing me over here. You're giving me some good laughs. Your lack of
I know what's going on. It's the beginning
Filter.
of the winter. It's already in depression. You know
yeah,
how like the Denmark and all the Scandinavian countries in the winter they're all in depression? That's what's going on.
your lack of fun is a lot of fun for me. um, yeah, I mean, both could be true. That's my response. That's my response to that, Ellie. You said you didn't know how to respond. Both could be true. Um,
It's like quantum computing.
Can I declare? Can I announce something? I no longer work for Tesla, guys.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's it. I finished. It's done. It's behind me.
So new chapter. You
I
plan
mean, from now on, you will see the early unhinged. I can say whatever I want on the internet.
that
Let's start here.
that might be.
I already said what I think about you, Alexander. That was me unhinged. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. Is the world ready for Ellie Unhinged?
No, I'm still. I still love humanity and whatever. Blah blah blah.
That was convincing.
Do you have any news or what's
There's
going on?
really there's no news. I, I'm just sitting here hitting refresh. I mean, the only news that really has come out is what, we had talked about earlier with Chuck Cook's Corner. Omar, what's your thoughts on that?
On what?
Chuck
Yeah, the 9 minutes rotation or whatever. Yeah, somebody who speaks English can ask the question.
Chuck Cook.
Well,
Oh,
I don't personally see the relevance of timing how long it takes them. I think obviously they're validating FSD 14 like they always do. And that's one of the locations they validate. So, not surprising to see them at Chuck Cook's left turn. Would probably be concerning if they weren't there, right? So, that's probably a positive sign. But I'm not sure if FSD 14 will actually roll out today. I mean, we haven't seen the release notes.